you, there's certain things in life that I wish that I hadn't seen Nigel Farage's backside, and the jungle is one of them. Another one, ladies and gents, is Peter Hitchens on a toilet in a prison cell.
Well, wait a minute. You only saw my upper body.
Well, that was enough. There was movement.
Well, I know.
There was facial expressions
since we're entering into this discussion, there was actually no movement at all. There is no more constipating experience in life than sharing a small room with another bloke and having to do everything in public. I promise you.
Well, anyway, the reason I mentioned this,
I don't want to go on about
was on
this.
a TV show called Banged Up or whatever it was. It was all about the state of prisons. I found it interesting today that the lady that's been convicted of killing multiple babies, Lucy Letby, you'll be familiar with that story. I don't need to rehash it. She apparently has been moved to another prison. And I've got to say, I was taking a look at the prison. I can show you, actually, I'll show you the front page of their website. It caught my eye today, so it did. This is HMP Bronzefield. Look at that. The top right-hand side, it says, our aim is to change lives for the better. Shouldn't the aim of prison be to punish people?
Oh, very much so, but not to insult them or humiliate them or destroy their souls. Prisons should be austere. They certainly shouldn't be places of luxury, but they certainly shouldn't be places where we deliberately set out to make people miserable and humiliated. There would be no point in that. They're places, in my view, which is no longer the view of the government, by the way.
Well, there's Peter in prison.
Places where punishment should take place, due punishment of responsible persons who have committed crimes against a known law. But as I say, it's one thing to say you're going to punish someone. It's another thing to say you're going to insult and humiliate them, and I don't believe in doing that. And nobody who's been inside, and I haven't just been inside Shrewsbury Prison for 4 days in the Banged Up programme. I've visited many prisons, well, several prisons in this country and other parts of the world. Nobody would wish to be inside a prison for a minute longer than they had to be, with an ensuite shower or not. And I would not make out that these places are places where anybody could even for a moment, be happy or contented or particularly comfortable. And that's not what they're like. And don't get that into your head. The prisoner's holiday camp argument is frankly not the point. The point is prisons is who runs prisons and what they're for. And at the moment, they're largely run by the inmates, and they don't have punishment in them.
Very different experience to my teenage years. I used to visit my then boyfriend frequently in prison, and there was many people that I knew back in those days that were in and out of prison like a yo-yo. They seemed to not have any issues spending more minutes than they needed to back inside anyway. Aaron, your thoughts?
I have to say, actually, that it was very good TV with Peter, and he has this interaction with this young man, and I almost see you as being like this is not being patronising, almost as a father figure to him. I think he clearly is in search of a mentor, and there was just a glimpse of him having that, and he responded so well. So, maybe you should be doing more.
Tom and I got on surprisingly well, and he asked me to read to him, which was extraordinary. In fact, we read to each other, and we spent long hours, because you were banged up together with nothing else to do. We spent long hours telling each other our personal stories, and it was fascinating, I think, certainly for me, I hope for him, and a very interesting experience. I hope Tom will go far. He's a bright
Do you stay in touch with him?
Not at the moment, no. He's out in the Far East at the moment, but I expect I will be back in touch with him at some point, yes.
Yeah, see, I share the kind of sentiment about... I mean, I was looking at the website of this prison. I've got to say, I was reading it. I thought it sounds all right, actually, the prison that she was in, ensuite. They've got a creche in there, an Ofsted-rated outstanding creche, got a lovely play area as well. People would argue, well, children shouldn't be in prisons. I completely agree. But the answer for that, then, is that the mothers shouldn't really be committing crimes then, should they? Anyway, what do you make to prisons? Do you think that whole notion of our aim is to kind of make people better people and all the rest of it, is that the primary responsibility of a prison in your view? GB Views at gbnews.com.